I'd be surprised one of these guys don't, or both of them, to go with Anarchy, Nyx, Slash, something to get around the map.
Yeah, it's looking like it's pretty
Right.
similar lineup so far. The Scale Bearer now coming in for Boots, and then we just have one more pick, Visor. For Blood Covenant, no surprise to see a Visor there right at the end of it.
I've mentioned before, I like ID's lineup. It's one of my favorite ones, especially for this map, is the Ranger Nyx Visor combo. I just think it's a good balance of champions for this map. The sight is good from Visor, and then the mobility. Ranger can change the elevations really well with the Dire Orb, and of course, Nyx can get nice places with the wall jump, and of course her Ghost Walk is pivotal for engagements.
And we just saw how powerful the Nyx could prove to be there in our last duel that we saw right over on the European stream for our friends over there, of course. So we saw quite a good Nyx v Nyx duel right at the very end of it, and hopefully we'll get another one here between Boots and id, as their game should be starting in just about 10 seconds or so here, as soon as they complete the warm-up. Which should only take a moment, and then we can actually leap into the combat and see who is going to be our first player to qualify for DueL this week here in North America. We already had the sacrifice action going on yesterday. A lot of fun had here yesterday, a lot of chaotic action, especially right there at the end. We had a really great fight for one of the final rounds in our matches, but it is time, folks, to jump into it. So let's go Boots versus ID for our very first match in the round of 16 here for week number 3 of North American Qualifiers, QuakeCon Regionals 2017. Let's jump into it. Let's take a look at the opening battle. Boots is actually just going to leap straight into combat here, too, trying to go for the original engagement. He does have to pull back from it. Here's the problem, though. He's low, 63 HP. Thankfully, he's got that in full armor pickup pretty close by. However, ID already has the pull pickup himself, so we may be a little bit hungry here to try to sneak in some damage.
Yeah, that's by design. He wanted to do a little damage early on and then back away. It's essentially a delay tactic. See, right away. So he got the delay, he separated the timer, so now he knows Mega Health is going to be first before the heavy armor. He's actually in a really good spot. So he really wanted to separate the timers right away. So, I mean, it's a good initial play. I like how he started the match.
And he even got the first kill, too, so already ID's first champion has gone down to the ground. Great combo. Completely trapped him with rockets, had a high ground advantage as well, so perfectly lined up from Boots early on. And now he's going to continue to get aggressive. Back up to the rocket bridge to try and continue forward. Keep pushing on this one. He has lost his opponent a little bit here, so doesn't have a complete lock on the situation. And yeah, once again, just has to fall back up to where the Mega Health spawns here. That's about to come up in another few moments. So he can try to go back for that pickup. Oof, ooh.
Yeah, it's got to be really careful challenging for major items right now.
Well, Boots now, after getting knocked back down, resolves to swing back around. I think the problem is ID had pretty much assumed that that the armor was going to be his for the taking, and now tried to go back for it and left the Mega Health sitting on the other side of that room he was in previously. So now he's just let Boots get himself stacked up. Boots is going to overestimate the stealth push a little bit here, as ID did just pretty much stay exactly where he was as soon as he popped off his stealth in the other room. So now for Boots, sitting up on the inside, getting tagged again by a rail. ID's rail's proven to be a little bit pesky here now on the Nyx, as once again getting tagged by it. Now he's only one-shottable, 63 HP here. He gets it again, he's down, and Boots can't seem to return any of the damage here. Very low, and they're just in a whip battle right now. No one can seem to hit anything at all. Boots finally goes back up on top, bails out of this fight, as we do have the Mega Health spawning back in, but it doesn't go to Boots any longer. Now it's going to transition and head over to id instead.
Yeah, it's got to do a little better job of playing his opponent and not the items so much. When you mentioned he left that Mega Health there, it's kind of a prime example. He's got to be reading his opponent and making sure he knows, just because it's up doesn't necessarily mean you have a clear path there. Where's your opponent at all times?
Now they do leap into another engagement here. Boots stuck on the top side of it, as he does push ID back down below into the depths there. So ID's going to be able to escape for the time being. Boots is still hunting. He wants the kill. He also wants to get back this Mega Health advantage, which he's actually going to get pretty easily. And he has a perfect split on the items now. About 14 and 30 seconds on the spawn. So perfect split between those. Pretty much has himself the max amount of time to swing between them and pick them up. But his opponent will also have that. And I'm assuming that ID should still have a pretty good track onto these timers here. No reason for him to have lost those as of yet. But regardless, Boots goes back to once again controlling both pickups. So he has the advantage once more.
Yeah, it just needs to be thinking about picking and ambushing at these major spawns, not getting into anywhere he can't really disengage if he wants. He needs to have some kind of retreat plan for now, because Boots really is stacked. He's going to be running between these items, so he just needs to run some interference. Catch him with the rocket or rail as he's running between the items, or when he's jumping on them. Just like that, it was a nice little combo.
Yeah, there's the trap sprung from ID. Doesn't get a whole lot of damage, pretty much just reduces the armor, which Boots isn't going to care too much about as he's already recovered it anyway. Boots should have just spotted ID here as he tries to get him into a trap here in the blood pit, but ID doesn't want to take it. He's going to stay back over in the LG room as he holds back. Nice rocket connection. Once again, further reducing the health pool there for Boots a little bit as it knocks out pretty much all of his armor pool. So he's going to be losing that and have to go for a couple smaller pickups. Also wants the rails here as he's getting low on ammo for that. But oh my goodness, just swiped and almost hit again. Nice rails coming out from ID. And it almost has finished off Boots now and completed the trade from almost like 2.5 minutes ago now. So some good stuff here from ID to try and make a comeback happen. Boots extremely low.
Missed that goat walk. Yeah, missed that ghost walk. He really had him there. Just kind of just bricked that opening shot, and unfortunate for him. Boots was really fortunate too to get away with that slip gate up the rail. I mean, it was in a slightly different position there. He was going to eat a lot of damage.
Boots continues to have to use his dire orbs for mobility to get between items a little bit quicker, and finally ID is able to lock down his opponent, complete the trade, and bring things down to a 2v2. Also with only 30 seconds left in the actual round, the regulation time here itself. So this has a very high likelihood to go to OT, and pretty much at this point, next kill's going to win unless someone is able to go off and get a quick double kill here. Nicely found by ID once again, now sniping onto his opponent's Nyx, bringing her down to just the regular health pool. But ID also doesn't have a whole lot himself, and now he's going to be forced back way. He's going to use them a little bit to get some of his own health back, and has to swing away again. Sudden death. Play very carefully here.
Warning. Boots can't seem to land a rail so far. I'm wondering he's going to heat up here. Only 1 for 10% so far. A little cold right now.
Let's start early on in the day, so yeah, we hope he's just getting warmed up a little bit. As ID once again swings into combat here, does have himself a bit of a height advantage over Boots, and Boots doesn't completely abandon the battle either. He did look like he was going to be okay with sticking in that room to try and fight against ID for at least a little bit, but then backed out at the last second. Now leaps into it, and oh, ID misses a chance for basically what could have been like a free rail shot. Boots just jumped right at him, and for whatever reason, ID didn't take the shot. However, ID still has a lock onto these spawns, and he'll be able to move in, get himself the full armor pickup, where his opponent, Boots, has left the health down to split the timers a little bit more, as they pretty much need to go back to only about a 3 to 4 second differential on pickup timers there.
Yeah, they're both being really conservative right now, not wanting to make a mistake. Obviously, being sudden death, so.
Yeah, we're about a minute into that sudden death, and I don't think anyone's really tried to engage since we got past the 5-minute marker there. So both these guys being very passive. That might change right now, though, as ID goes in. He's got himself a little bit of a fish in a barrel game here going on as he picks off one shot, and there we go. Swings in with the LG to finish it off to finally complete round 1 in the favor of ID.
Yeah, good recognition. Got that initial shot in, and he used his ghost walk. I mean, just seconds before that. So good recognition to get aggressive there and get the kill.
2, 1.
And a great turnaround, too, after going down, losing the initial fight there. Now he's going to be able to try and swing in to go for a little bit of damage early on here. I think he maybe wanted to try and contest, actually, for the mega health, but had to fall back. And now he might actually lose the armor, too, if he's not careful. ID is in a pretty tough spot. And, yeah, he's just going to let his opponent walk completely over that. So Boots, right from the start, steals both the mega power-ups.
Another interesting start. Boots starting off his matches very fast and aggressive, getting position, getting both items. He obviously has a plan for various spawns and utilizing that ranger orb to get around. Very good.
So for ID, swung back over here now, leaping into the pit, but his opponent's also going to be leaping onto him as Boots tries to take combat. ID uses the dire orb to go back up on top and then completes the kill with one final rocket. Nicely played. He's now going to get the first kill here in round 2.
Yeah, nice defensive rockets by ID. And then when he jumped down, using the dire orb to get back up and get the finish, just because he got the better of that initial engagement, so he needs to get that right back in it. Just good play, good recognition that he had his opponent stacked down.
And ID once
nice
again,
rockets.
Spotting the respawn. Oof. Boots getting a little bit close to hitting that rail shot, but once again not connecting on it yet. He does hit the rockets this time, but it's for a very small amount of damage. Boots does not want to take this fight, so he's going to try to bail out, but won't happen.
Nope.
ID locks him down and completes the second kill.
Yeah, just saw him charging around the corner there to the light armor, heading to LG, and it was just an easy read for ID. He didn't cancel the scale bearer charge. He could have maybe changed direction on him, but he ran straight into that room, and ID was waiting for him.
So now for
Nice
ID
combo
here,
by Boots.
he's going to be pushed back a little bit. This could be the first possible trade in this round. I mean, at this point, Boots really has to try and turn this back. It's a 1v3 already for him at this point. He only has 3 minutes. He's got to get a kill per minute if he wants to try and bring this back in time. Technically, only needs the 2 kills, of course, in order to take it into OT. I mean, I imagine he would like to end this one in regulation. Good tag on ID. Bring him down quite low. Not a whole lot of health remaining here for ID at this point, but he's recovered quite a bit of it now. And he's going to be good to jump back up and get this mega health.
He's in great position right now. Boots got to be careful. I mean, going up that RL jump pad the way he did is really risky right now. This ID is stacked, and he's on this Nyx character, which is any kind of rocket engagement in close range. He's going to be at a serious disadvantage, especially with ID as stacked as he is.
ID heading back over here towards middle now. He's going to have his own opportunity to leap across the fold, and spots him, but spots him a little bit too late, as Boots actually is given quite a big open window. Snipe in one of his own railgun shots there. So he'll complete that, and as he loops back into the fight, once again dodging out of the way of ID's rails. So not allowing him to complete anything just yet, but ID still manages to telepath himself into a rocket there, and a little bit more. 2 damage, not a whole lot obviously, but ID once again now on the hunt, on the prowl, looking for this last kill, to be able to get himself a nice 2-0 start in this map. To start off.
Yeah, ID just needs to keep doing what he's doing, running the items, making sure he keeps good position. Don't get careless running between the items. So you always got to play your opponent, so you don't run into a silly ambush and just ruin your stack. So he's doing all right. He's keeping good position and making sure that when Boots does have, he's trying to make a push, he's got to run through something to get there. You should read this.
And in comes the charge now off the stealth here. Time is getting a little bit low here, so Boots is going to try and turn this around by getting aggressive, but at the moment, it is not working out. So much damage being taken by that Nyx, and he's going to go down. So ID closes it out, and as you just saw there, he's 5 kills straight into this one now on a killing spree.
Prepare to fight.
Yeah, good turnaround from AD, considering actually even how this match started. He really didn't have control of anything. He was able to turn it around. It's really good job. You can see he's playing mentally sharp. He's not getting too panicked about anything. He's just playing his game. It's what you got to do.
And so for this has definitely been, or for ID, excuse me, this has been the tale of a turnaround. Started off 1 frag down against Boots, and since that point has been completely flawless. Going 5 straight since the previous round, and he has the potential to continue that right now. And locking down Boots, nice early rocket.
Nice read. I mean, he's playing really slick right now. Even there, look at that follow-up rail. It's ready for him to come out of that doorway. He's playing slick. If he keeps his head in the game, he's looking like he's going to get this map if he keeps playing like this.
Absolutely. So already locking down that extra damage here. Now Boots was able to sleuth away, getting himself the mega health. So he has a little bit of an advantage here. But look at this dive from ID going down. And once again, getting out another 50 damage. Now ID doesn't want to take himself up for free on that jump pad just yet. It is a little bit risky when his opponent is sitting on the other side with the rails ready to go. Pretty much asking to get himself free railed at that point. So it's smart for him to hold back there and wait that one out. ID in the meanwhile rolls back over, and as you can see, was able to pick himself up the mega health, but his opponent also gets the full armor. So they just trade out respective power-ups. And ID backs up to reset this fight and look for better positioning.
I like how he heard that rocket jump up the bridge, and even though he missed the shot, he was there waiting for him, and he was getting good position and set up to take the shot, which is the important thing. So I still like how he's playing, but he's got to be careful. Boots has landed some decent shots of his own. Looks like his rail's starting to heat up a little bit.
A little bit here now as Boots finally finding traction just when he's about to be eliminated too, or just when he's about to be eliminated from this map. I should clarify, these are best of 3s, so he wouldn't be eliminated just yet. But for id now, put into a position where he does not want to take that previous fight. So he does get forced away into this next room and into the pillar room as well, where Boots is actually going to make the mistake of going up that jump pad. Eats a lot of damage as a result of that one, and now it is an opportunity to continue his rampage here, pick up another kill. Just didn't have the positioning to once again go forward. He has that die orb up, so he can definitely jump into the play if he wants to. The problem with that die orb, though, is that it is very easy to read into how it, very easy to read into its path, obviously, and then try to counter out your opponent if they do want to use it to sort of leap into combat against you there. So it does have its risks as well as its rewards. But for ID, again, reads his opponent properly, sees him coming back up, and gets about 40 damage off on that rocket. Nothing significant yet, since Boots has the quick pickup of the mega health coming in about 10 seconds here. But if ID can engage, prevent that from happening. In fact, he does. He just walks right in. He's going to take this fight. The rockets aren't that great, though. He's only connected for about 60 damage total so far, but the port in, maybe it'll help with that. A little bit more being done, and the midair to finish it off, as ID does finally close it on the first kill, just under the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, a little messy, but in the end, he got the job done. Oh, and that was a big pickup, getting that armor. Yeah, you know Boots was going to do the charge, so getting that armor gave him that extra stack he really needed. So that was big.
And now, ID, though, has already been able to claim the quick refrag just only about 20 seconds after he already got that first kill. So now he has a huge advantage with us being at the sub 2-minute mark here. And Boots having to once again try and 1v3 himself out of this situation here, which is not going to be good for him. He had an advantage in the first round. Seemed like he was on good footing to start this map off, but everything just went so bad so quickly. And now it's been ID all the way since that previous point. He's going to once again try and close back out here, going up against the Nyx. That rail is already huge. Less than a tick of health left on the Nyx here. And if that goes down, that's going to be the end of map 1. He's trying to stay alive, trying to keep himself in there, but it's not going to happen as ID rocket jumps his way into a map 1 victory. He's going to take it 3-0.
Yeah, not much Boots could do there with, after he took that rail, he was so low health, and then a couple machine gun shots, whittled him down a little more, and, ID already knew he could recognition to rocket jump up and just get the finish. At that point, it wouldn't even matter if Boots hit him with another shot as he rocket jumped up. As long as you land your shot, he's going down, and that's a wrap for the map.
Yeah, relatively even fight across the board there. If you take a look, actually, it's like some of the pickups and whatnot. 12-13 on the armor pickups and 11-13 on the mega health pickups. So those guys were neck and neck as far as that was concerned. It's really the damage when you come and take a look at it. Just id was able to get off so much more, especially on the rails for really those first 2 rounds. And that's what gave him the huge advantage that he was able to eventually swing away with and kind of take full control on that map and kind of take it in a 3-0 fashion.
Yeah, and also he was winning some of those rocket battles, some of those pivotal rocket fights. He was able to pull away and get the better of those engagements. It really, even when he made the dire orb play over there by the mega health, he came in there and ambushed Boots. He picked up an item on the bridge there. So Boots heard the click, and I think maybe he was confused and thought the click came from lightning gun, and so he was kind of looking not quite where it came in, or ID came in, and then he was able to push and get that position. And even then, his rockets were a little sloppy, but it was cleaner than Boots were, and he was able to get the kill.
So we do jump into the second map here now, and I believe we actually switched sides as well, so ID is now going to be on the left side here. It should be adjusted on the scoreboard for in-game, folks, but Corrupted Keep is going to be our second map, so you can actually expect some pretty drastic champion change-ups here. This is a much smaller map, and the playstyle is very, very different here on Corrupted Keep compared to our previous map.
Yeah, very fast-paced, and obviously no railgun, so a lot of rocket, a lot of lightning gun. Machine gun gets a lot of play here too, especially because it's pretty much your long-range hit scan weapon that you got. So I'm curious to see, especially Sorlag. I've seen people really whip around the map with Sorlag. A little surprised we've not seen a clutch. I think I've seen ID utilize clutch pretty effectively.
You only fuel our revenge.
Almost a mirror match, just the difference. Visor versus Blazkowicz. Blazkowicz is a interesting character. His passive is pretty good with the regen, and his active is certainly really good. But outside of that, I mean, his stack isn't necessarily huge, and there's nothing too special about him. You just got to watch out for that active ability.
Well, it is time to begin, folks. So for ID and Boots taking each other on here now to Corrupted Keep, which is one of our closest and smallest maps so far that's been implemented in the Quake Champions here. And for ID, well, he's going to be holding himself back into the red room to start things off. Gets pushed into there. Thankfully, he's got that passive health regen on the Blazkowicz to help him out a little bit, so that bit of a tag really doesn't affect him. Just regens it back a few moments later. And now, actually still surprised to find Boots in this engagement when he goes back out into mid. ID's stuck in a bit of a poor spot, but he has the respawn and the health coming up in a second. Trying to go for it, but he's being pushed away. So now, his opponent's going to be able to leap back into it. Tries to pop the dual wield, but it's countered by Boots anyway, as he is able to claim the first kill.
Yeah, too much of a stack for Boots, especially after he picked up the mega health. And I could see Boots early on was doing a little bit of rocket launcher denial, but ID finally got a hold of one now on the respawn. I liked how Boots was kind of keeping an area denial around the rocket launcher. If you can't get a rocket launcher on this map, you're in a lot of trouble.
You have to Boots, he's going to be positioned up on top here. Over to the LG now to try and do some damage, but I don't know if they get the kill now. Nyx is incredibly low, so the Boots should try and hunt down this frag, but he just has to lock it down so that the Nyx can't directly run away, and now he's going to leap into the fight. Nyx has recovered a tad of health here. He's going to be a little bit better off, but still only 75 to play with. It's 1 or 2 rockets, and he's still going to be dead. So he's got to be a little bit careful to get a tad more going. Now he's going to get locked down again. Over to the LG initially for Boots, just not enough damage. And he will escape the fight once more.
Yeah, Boots playing sharp right now. Running both items. Even when he's waiting for these items, like with the mega health, he's just kind of keeping pressure on ID from high ground. And oh, nice push by ID there though.
And Boots now gonna be locked onto this bridge. We do have the stealth moving back in, and Boots is gotta be careful because, well, that could happen. ID jumps at a stealth and just gets deleted by a rocket as soon as we see the Nyx popping out of that stealth. 2v2 now as the kill trade has been completed. Still plenty of time left in the first round, however.
Oh, I'm surprised Boots didn't just run right over to that. I'm really surprised Boots just didn't hightail it to the heavy armor there as Sorlag. ID really didn't have much left when he was defending over there, and I mean, Sorlag was pretty stacked. Wasted a little bit too much time, I think.
So for ID, he's going to leap back into this. A big fight over the next mega health, but ID walks right into that rocket there. So unfortunately, with the measly little health pool that the Nyx does have, he's going to get pretty much deleted. So now this turns into a Sorlag v Sorlag fight, actually. And while Boots still has 1 champion in excess, this is ID's last one. So if he does get knocked out here, he's out for the round. Then it's going to be Boots that finally steals around here. And he's got a nice lockdown on his opponent, Sorlag here. A lot of damage being done. Was that less than a tick when ID managed to evacuate from that fight. But Boots didn't seem to want to chase it there, despite the fact that he is immune from the spit shot. Did not want to jump into the engagement, so he backed away and he gave ID the time needed to be able to recover his HP. And I'm always going to get all his armor back because that mega armor is going up.
Yeah, he's got the frag lead, so I don't think he's... Nice ambush here. He should have the kill.
Nice bounce right into the second and third rockets as well to get a quick cleanup there. And allow Boots to take round 1.
Prepare to fight.
Yeah, with a frag lead, there was no need to get too aggressive there and push, heavy armor to a bad position. I like how he just set up for an ambush and, landed some nice rockets to get the kill there. It's a very nice ambush, and he executed it perfectly.
So back into combat for round 2 now that Boots has the advantage for himself here. Just trying to spin around. He was thinking his opponent was going to go through the portal. Just made that call a little bit too early. And now the dual wield again. Is Boots going to counter this again, or is he actually going to fall to it this time? He does indeed fall to it. And right now, well, things look like they were going in pretty similar fashion to the way the last map went. But Boots did actually complete the conversion on the first round this time. So not exactly true. However, ID now in the second round gets himself off to a hot start here. Is able to use that dual wield to claim the first frag.
Gotta be careful whipping around them corners.
And ID trying to do some long-range work here today.
He should get out of there. I don't know about challenging for this mega. You should honestly just look to do some damage as he picks it up.
Yeah, and ID is going to be forced back a little bit.
He needs to get defensive. Oh man, nice push. Really great movement from Boots. I mean, ID was on the bottom there, and Boots came right at him, and there's really nowhere for him to go. He might have thought about running sooner. Once you see that Sorlag flying around the corner like that, I don't know what, other than running through the portal as quickly as he could, I don't know much what he could do. Maybe some better defensive rockets. It's just a nice play from Boots.
And ID, nicely done on the revenge, just dives into that combat there. Does take a little bit of a risk going up against the Sorlag. The spit can really hurt against a character like Nyx, and you saw the spit come out from Boots, but didn't seem to make much of a difference. ID was still able to hold on, surprise jump, and that completely negated everything that Boots had set up on his own defense there. So it turns into a Nyx v Nyx fight, and Boots is on his last character for this round. So this could be id. ID getting himself the trade to bring this map to a 1-1 scoreline. ID needs that. He wants a quick closeout here. He wants to push forward 2-0.
Stopwatch.
He can help it.
Yeah, I think Boots just didn't get the most out of that spit last time, and while he was, using his ass to spit, ID was landing rockets.
Now, ID jumping back in here. He's going to have his stealth coming back up in about 5 seconds, so should have it available for the next fight. And actually, a little bit of an awkward moment. Both players in the same room, neither of them spotting each other for a couple of seconds there. And ID now sneaking back in. Nice lineup on the rockets. 86, and he fragged him right up into the doorway there where it locked him down and allowed for an easy follow-up into his second rocket. Nicely traded by ID, and now we go 1-1.
Yeah, ID had nice position there to listen and listen for sound cues. He didn't hear the hourglass pickups or any footsteps going towards the heavy armor side, so he kind of just snuck back around and waited for him to, for Boots to also redirect back to that room and be sneaky, and he just caught him in a nice ambush. And again, a good start for ID with the dual wielding. It's a big turnaround of momentum from considering Boots won that first round. ID's definitely has some momentum going for him right now.
Yeah, that was the only time that Boots was actually able to counter out the dual wield so far. Other than that, it was had a 2-1 record on it so far in these rounds. And for it specifically now, still on the Blazkowicz, trying to hold on for this fight here, but he's trying to get creative with his movement to get himself to a high ground position. He is kind of stuck down below at this point. So forced to swing back around over here into the red room, and then out into the middle where maybe he could take a fight finally.
Yeah, both are just listening right now, trying to set up an ambush and being careful about not running into anything silly.
Yeah, ID again forced downstairs here. So he's going to get pushed out of combat. Has to go up against a massive health pool built up on the Sorlag now. So that's going to be another issue that ID has to look to get himself past here. And there's the dual wield again that ID tries to use to lock down on a Boots. Just doesn't work out so well.
He did the job he wanted to do. He just wanted to steal the mega health. Oh, but that was a little careless coming. You got to be, one of the things you got to be worried about, especially in a map like this, running around with the lightning gun. Sorlag is, not easy to take down right away. Even if you pin him with the lightning gun, the time to kill is not short. So a good recovery there on his spawn. But as I was mentioning on the last kill, you just got to be careful doing that, running around with the lightning gun, because the time to kill is not short. If they plug you with some rockets, it's going to change that fight instantly. So it's a little better to be running around. If you're going to run around fast, be running around with a rocket launcher and switch to the lightning gun. You can always quick swap to the lightning gun if you need.
Well, now that it has been brought down to just Boots' last character here, he is going to try to get a little bit more creative with his pickups. And nicely done. Is able to secure himself both the full armor and the mega health. So he's ready to jump into combat against this Nyx, but the Nyx wants nothing to do with it. He's got to be a little bit careful to telefrag here. But I think Boots bailed out at the last second there, wanting to get away from this fight. So it is going to be able to continue forward with the huge advantage of having both these power-ups still under his control. Should have been able to hear that pickup through, so he's going to know that Boots is maybe taking a route. And there we go. There's the rocket. Doesn't hit for much, though. Only connects for about 10 HP total. That one's a lot better, as is that one. 70 damage going on to Boots. He's now incredibly low. It's not too healthy himself. He only has his max HP to work off of, so I will play shotgun to turn this fight around.
I know he wanted to get the finishing kill, but not at the expense of letting him take her out the mega health.
Yeah, now Boots is going to leap back in. This might be a little bit ill-advised, though, as he does just get kind of destroyed by the LG and the quick switch at the end there. So ID is going to be able to convert the second round. He goes up with the advantage. One more, and he should be able to take this series, claiming it.
Yeah, nice comeback on this map. And yeah, not a good idea to be flying through the air into a lightning gun stream. I mean, ID just pinned him, and he didn't have nothing left for that rocket up close. Nice rockets. That really bailed ID out there. He wasn't in a good spot. Good defensive rockets to really force Boots off.
And for the first time so far in this map, didn't immediately pop the dual wield for that fight too. Probably because he wasn't in a very good spot to take it. Now we're going to see it though, as he does bring that out finally. It is wasted though. He gives Boots a pretty quick option to retreat there. So unfortunately that cooldown is going to go completely by the wayside. It's one of the longest cooldowns out of all the champions, if I recall correctly. So that is going to be a pretty rough to use that and not get as nearly as much effectiveness out of it as you would have liked. Boots has pretty much already recovered all of his health and has the bonus effects of picking up, I believe, the full armor still as well. So has that going for him. And the mega health, I just realized that too. So as they jump back into it here, ID is going to continue to try and take the fight against Boots, but Boots not having any of it in his current form.
Both items on a relatively same time, so it's really up. Oh, that was a little tactical error there by ID. And he knows it. That's why he backed off. He's probably thinking to himself, that was an oops.
Yeah, and ID, oh my goodness.
Got to be careful right now. He just doesn't want to get up.
Well, there's the wall hack pop from Boots there. He needed that one. You could tell that he was struggling to try to figure out where he was, despite them being just a couple inches away from each other. Here's the dual wield pop coming out again from ID, but once again, no really great follow. Boots is still good AP. This could work out, though, as the Visor's trying to charge directly into ID, maximizing his health drain there. And there we go. Over to the Mega Shotgun for ID to finally finish off that kill and claim himself the first frag of the round.
Yeah, that was just good positioning by ID on 2 occasions. Let's see if he gets the kill here. Oh,
close.
But you know, when Boots grabbed the mega health, I really liked how he was waiting, you know, at that doorway and then popped the dual wield immediately with the lightning gun, and really forced him to take a different route and did a lot of damage in the process, which enabled him to get the heavy armor. And then Boots tried to recover and rush, you know, from the light armor area across the 3 hourglasses, and you have that little pathway there, which is, you know, ID rightly pulled out the lightning gun, knowing he doesn't have a much, you know, left-right movement that he can do, and he ran straight into an LG stream and, you know, a little rocket switch and LG gamemanship to get the kill at the end. It was just nice plays by ID all the way, and Boots got a little too aggressive there at the end. Probably should have recognized it was lost at that point.
Second frag proved to be very exciting as well. In fact, the third frag is just about to happen, so we're going to try our best not to miss it this time as ID moves in. Tries to lock down the frag onto this Nyx, but gets pushed back. But it was a very important second kill for ID to get. Basically, him and Boots race to the mega health, and whoever got it would win out there. Now, Boots does get caught in a bit of a rapid chase to try and go for that frag. Doesn't pan out, so ID is going to take map number 2, and I believe with that, he takes the series as well, now going up 2-0.
Very impressive from ID. His rockets were on point, especially his defensive rockets there. You can see Boots just trying to make a play, and he's just running into damage. Good recovery, especially, you know, it was a rough start in round 1 for him. And then he came back and just swept the rest. And then, you know, he was impressive in the